Hello, guys. The next album I'm going to review is going to be something a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing a soundtrack. I'm going to be reviewing the Fear soundtrack, originally released in 1994. For those who don't know, The Fear was a very obscure, unknown horror film that came out in 1994. But the thing that hip hop fans remember it for is that it had a horrorcore themed soundtrack, and I think it might have been the first film soundtrack to actually do that because the likes of Tales from the Hood didn't come out until '95. So yeah, so it's kind of noteworthy for that reason. This was released on Warlock. Yep, that's the front cover. I think the film front cover is that as well. Obviously, it wouldn't say the soundtrack underneath it or anything, but you know what I mean. There's the back, it's just red with the track listing, pretty cool. Um, it's a silver disc, again, nothing special. And inside the booklet, you just get a bland track listing telling you what's what. So, yeah. So this soundtrack is cheap. It's easy to get. Not maybe not physical, like you're not going to pop into your local shop and get it, but it seems to be pretty cheap online. So that's why I got it. Just to try it out and sort of go for it because there's a lot of artists on here that I wasn't familiar with, and a lot of them are actually pretty obscure. So yeah, let me just go through all the songs and I'll tell you what I think of them. The first song is from Esham, who I'm very familiar with, and it's the song "The Fear," Morty's theme. Brilliant song, I love it. That's the song that's playing now, and it even has a music video. Would you believe it? It actually has a music video, and it was a single as well on top of that. And it's not the best music video in the world, but it's really cool, as an Esham fan to see a music video from back then because he didn't have that many. So yeah, pretty awesome. I love the beat. Like it's got like a kind of a rock kind of. I think it has like a rock kind of sound to it, but it's not like your typical like rap rock thing. It's kind of subtle. I like that. One of the things I liked about Esham, especially around like 92, 93, 94, he used quite a lot of rock samples, and yeah, he used them really well. It made his he had his own unique sound. As far as sampling artists that a lot of people wouldn't sample. And Maurice Fame, like he's actually makes references to like the actual film in the songs in the lyrics rather, and he actually makes references to other Esham songs and stuff like that as well. He mentions like Closed Casket and Therapy and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. He always does that anyway. He likes throwing in little references to his other songs and stuff like that. So yeah, fantastic song. I love that song. Track two, I can barely see it here because it's that dark. Half Pit and Machete, Black Peter. Half Pit was a rapper. Well, he might still be a rapper. Yeah, I can't. A lot of the artists on here, I tried looking them up, but they're very obscure, and I can't get much information on them. And Machete is he's like a singer more than a rapper. He's like a reggaeton kind of dancehall kind of singer. I'm kind of out of my depth as far as that stuff goes because it's not really a genre that I have much interest or knowledge in. But yeah, I'm not gonna knock Machete. I think Half Pit's a pretty decent rapper, and Black Peter's a decent song. I'm not wild on it. It's gonna come on in a second here. It's okay. It's not really my cup of tea. Track three is from the Gravediggers. Here comes the Gravediggers, or here come the Gravediggers, rather. That's from their first album, 6 Feet Deep, also known as something else in Europe. I'll get to that when I review that album. And that is a fantastic song. I love that album. That's a fantastic album. I'll definitely review it sometime. Yeah, it's might not be. It's in the same ballpark as Analysis Do Believe in God. Put it that way. I absolutely love that album. Yeah, so it was great to see the Gravediggers on this soundtrack. Track four, Headless Horseman, Necrophobia. That was so the Headless Horsemen, for those who don't know, were a group that were affiliated with the Flatliners, who are also on this soundtrack actually. And for those who don't know, I'll briefly mention get through the Flatliners backstory. Like they were a group on Def Jam, and they put out an album in 1994 called USA, which stood for Under Satan's Authority, which I own as well, and I might actually review that one someday as well. And yeah, Headless Horseman, they were on Def Jam as well, and they were due to put out an album, I believe, but it never came out because when the Flatliners bombed, their album tanked sales wise, and they were dropped from Def Jam, and so were Headless Horseman. So yeah, there really isn't a lot of Headless Horseman material out there, which is just a bit of a shame. There's this song Necrophobia, which I think was supposed to be on their album, but like I said, it got officially cancelled. But yeah, they did eventually put out like a lot of those songs, unreleased songs, out like through like their MySpace page or something like that. You can probably get them on YouTube. But yeah, I like the Headless Horseman, and I thought they were good on the Flatliners album. They were on the song Satanic Verses, which is one of the better songs of that album. So they're decent. I'm not like the biggest fan of horrorcore in general, but I like Isham and Nadas because they weren't trying to be so shocking. At least they were more just about like talking about real life things and putting like a dark twist on it. Like with the Flatliners and the Headless Horseman and stuff, I think they try a bit too hard to be all like blood, guts, and it's I don't know. It's a bit much for me. Not like because I can't take it. It's just not something I'm that into. I don't like horror films or anything like that, so that's probably part of it. Track 5, Half Pit, Half Dead, Better Off Dead. That was a single as well, and that was good. Like that's a good song, and they were apparently signed. I can't remember the record label name, but they were signed to a label and they were dropped before they could finish their album as well. And that, they have like 2 officially released songs. This one, Better Off Dead, and something else. And Better Off Dead has a music video as well. Go check that out. Yeah, I like that song. It's a good song. It's a shame. It annoys me when albums get shelved. I think it's one of the most annoying things that can happen. It's bad enough for a release to get just flat out like it's never going to be done. But when an album is like pretty close to getting done and it just gets shelved, I think that's very frustrating. Track 6, Nada's Life After Death. I've covered that on the Nada's Life After Death review. It's the same song, first song off that album. Again, I like it. It's good. It's one of the better. It's one of the better songs off that album. It has a lot of songs on it, but you know what I mean. Track 7, Machete. That's the same Machete from track 2 of this song. Again, it's not really a rap song. It's more sort of him singing over a dark beat. It's all right. What's that song called? Fear, Flesh and Blood. Yeah, it's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. Track 8, Terror, Graveyard Tales. He's another artist I can't find anything about. But yeah, solid. Like I don't have a lot to say as far as the individual tracks go, because a lot of the themes kind of carry over here. It's all horrorcore, so it's all that sort of dark kind of side. It's gritty, and they're talking about things that are messed up and what have you. So, but yeah, Graveyard Tales. I remember thinking that was pretty solid. Track 9, Insane Clown Posse, Dead Body Man. That was a song that they had on their EP Terror Wheel, and then they had it on the Riddle Box or whatever. I'm not an Insane Clown Posse fan, so I'm not gonna pretend I am. But I've done my research. The version that's on this, I think, is different from the version that's on the Terror Wheel thing, and I think it's different. That version is again different from the one that's on Riddle Box. So I don't know. I'm not an Insane Clown Posse guy, so I don't claim to be an expert. But yeah, I just. What can I say? It's like the Insane Clown Posse. I like some of their beats, but like I just can't get with the rapping. Like it's so juvenile and immature and just kind of simplistic. Doesn't do anything for me, I'm afraid. Track 10, Isham Rocks Off. That was originally on the Helter Skelter EP, which I covered in the EP collection review that I did. It's a decent sex song, but it doesn't really fit onto this. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't fit onto this horrorcore soundtrack. This kind of explicit sex song. That's my opinion anyway. But yeah, it's all right though. It's pretty solid, rock solid song. But rock solid. Sorry, I didn't mean for that little pun to slip in there. So yeah, I just don't think it really fits in. They could have used like loads of other Isham songs, and they would have fit in a lot better. 11, track 11, Infrared's Terror. Again, couldn't find out anything about him. There's like a punk band called Infrared, and I found out lots about them, but I didn't find out about Infrared the rapper. I didn't really like that. To be honest, it's a bit too overbearing, especially the start of it, where it's like, I don't know. It sounds obviously completely stupid when I do it, but it sounds stupid when he does it as well. So what can I say? Track 12, Flatliners Run. That's from Under Satan's Authority, the USA album. It's one of the. I wouldn't really say that's one of the highlights. Again, might have picked off something a bit better, like Satanic Verses or well, for that was one of their singles, so maybe they wouldn't have wanted that to be on the sound. And maybe Jeff Jam maybe would have not wanted that song to be on this soundtrack or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's rock solid. Like this, that's how I would describe this soundtrack overall. It's solid. It's not going to make you go wow, or really I'm blown away by this for the most part. Um, Track 13, Kim Waters, Sweet and Sexy, A Moment of Calm Before You Die. That's not hip hop, that's like just a nice little sort of saxophone chill song at the end of the album, which is, something a bit different, I suppose. So yeah, interesting way to end it off. I kind of like it actually. So yeah, The Fear, the soundtrack. Do I recommend it? Yeah, it's cheap and it's got lots of songs that are quite hard to get, like in any other form. Obviously, the Gravediggers one is quite easy to get. The Flatliners one and the Insane Clown Posse one, like those ones are pretty easy to get. But like, the Half Pit Half Dead songs, the Headless Horseman song, the Infrared song, the Terror song, like all that stuff is rare. So it's kind of worth getting if you consider yourself to be like a horrorcore enthusiast. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Like I love Morty's Fame. I think that's a brilliant song. I like the Half Pit Half Dead song, Better Off Dead. I think that's great as well. And Gravediggers, Flatliners, they're good groups as well. So yeah, it's a good compilation, and I've never seen the movie that it's based off. So if you guys have seen that, let me know what it's like. But not many people have. I think the soundtrack's actually more famous than the film, believe it or not. So there you go. So thank you very much. I apologize. It's so dark at the moment. It's just gotten a lot darker. It's around the time of day where it's starting to get dark now. So yeah. But like I said, matches the music. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed that review. It's not as good as some of my other ones because I'm just not as knowledgeable about the artist because it's hard to find out information about them. They're pretty obscure. So yeah, thank you very much for this review. Or well, I don't know why I'm saying that because I made it. So thank you very much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.